Hey stage folks, this is Ian. In this episode, I'm going to interview a very special young baritone, Arion Rudari. The talk with him inspired me a lot about the situations of art in Switzerland. If you're a bit struggling of the situations of COVID, I think it's very good to have some point from him that what we can do and what we should do. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's close the curtain and open the mic. Welcome, Arion Rudari.
Neurotic and lonely, average height, brown eyes slightly disproportionate, brown curly hair, show fro, 20 years old, 20 years old. Slightly hunched, occasionally employed, anthropologist, chain-smoking Joe, currently living with parents, off from school, to deal with emotional problems, neurotic and lonely, medicated, neurotic and lonely, 6, gorgeous, artsy, genius woman, interested in philosophical discourse, making out television, Woody Allen movies, Thelonious Monk, the Nazis, Chinese food, Thomas Pynchon, digestive disorders, neurotic and lonely, neurotic and lonely, lonely, lonely. Must enjoy video games, must own a video game system. Must enjoy video games, must own a video game system. My parents refused to buy one for me. My parents refused to buy one for me. My parents refused, my parents refused. My parents, my parents, my parents, my parents. My parents refused to buy one for me. No, of course, no, why not? Neurotic and lonely, 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 neurotic, 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 neurotic.
Meine Damen und Herren, Mesdames et Messieurs, Ladies and Gentlemen, Arion Rudari.
Yeah, hi.
It's nice to see you here, Arion.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Could you introduce yourself? I like the stories about you, what you just told me.
What I just told you?
Yeah.
About my heritage?
Is your parents local Swiss?
Yeah, my mother is from Bern, not the city,
Yeah.
but she's from the highlands, so
Yeah.
Berner Oberland, and my father is from Kosovo.
Yeah, that's cool.
As I've been told, they met in a bar, then they got married, and 3 months later I was born. So
3 months later.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I learned about me, and I can tell this too because my sister and we have a different father.
Is your sister older?
No, she's younger.
Okay.
And they got married. Her parents got married when she was 2 or 3, I think. And I always made this bastard jokes with her when we got
What?
older. Yeah, like, we were not born when they were married as a really... I mean, how siblings are. They're always mean to each other. And then she found our family book. And then she was like, did you know that you were born 3 months after the marriage of your father and your mother? And I was like, oh no. Yeah, it wasn't that. And she's now never letting me forget that. But yeah.
Yes. And what is your voice type?
I'm a baritone.
Baritone.
Yeah, I'm just like... I started with my first
singing teacher, I started as a bass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but because I had these low notes, but they were not loud. They were not. You
Yeah,
couldn't hear them really.
Yeah.
But it's here. And my teacher at HKB, where I studied, was like, "Yeah, you're not a basso, like never ever." And then I turned into a baritone with him.
Never ever. But
Yeah. He always thought I'm like a very high baritone, but but that also turned out to not be true. So
Yeah. Well, usually the bass is not very young. I think
yeah,
there are people who get bass in 40, 50 years old.
Yeah, true, very true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's true. Yeah, and I mean the voice now started to be a bit more darkened because I got older, and no one knows. Maybe it's a bass baritone. I mean, if you sing, if you're my voice type, you sing a lot of Mozart, and then it doesn't matter if you're a basso, a baritone, or something in between, because it's
True.
not really high, it's not really low. It's somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Arion, I saw it on your CV that you have several experience playing in the Zurich Opera House.
Well, I did not. Yeah.
What?
I did not sing at the house on the
At the
big
house.
stage, but I sang at the children's stage.
Yeah, but the children festival there, right?
Yeah.
It interests me a lot because I used to be a children theater player, Spieler.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
the
Really?
act-
I didn't know
actors,
that. Yeah.
actors in Taiwan when I was in
Yeah.
Taiwan. Actually, I start from the children's theater.
Oh, you came from. That's really
I came
cool.
from the children's
really
theater,
cool.
and then
Yeah.
I studied opera, and then I do the children's theater, and then I go to the opera after.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's your way. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that interests me a lot. Could you talk about the
Okay, yeah.
experience there? Yeah. How
it
did you get there?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah, because it started with my last master at HKB. I did a specialized performance master, but not with the soloist as a main subject,
Yeah.
but with Musikvermittlung. They now call it music in context, music mediation.
Oh wow.
And my final recital was a role-play game, Magic Flute, where we did the whole
okay.
Magic Flute.
Papageno?
Yeah, I did Papageno.
Cool,
And we did
yeah.
it for the audience like Dungeons and Dragons. So we had parts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had parts in the story where we stopped playing, and they had to do some little exams. And if they failed, characters died.
Wait,
the story
what?
changed. Yeah, it was
You
like
made
that.
the Zauberflöte with a table game.
Yeah, it was like an actual opera performance, but we stopped the action sometimes, and then they had to do a game, and depending on how they did,
So what happened if?
we had the dress rehearsal, everyone died. Like
Oh,
the
shit.
dress rehearsal, Pamina, Papageno, and Sarastro were dead.
How
The
do you
evil
continue
guy-
the show?
Well, we didn't really. Like when I died as Papageno, we still did the duetto, but without me. I was Tachet, and the Papageno sang it alone. Very sad. That was like the dress rehearsal. Then the whole cast was like, no, we can't do it like that. If everyone dies, the audience will be so sad. And then in the premiere, no one died. We had literally the exams were so easy for the audience, so no one died, and I was like, this is boring. And then we made it very hard, and from the second and third performance we were like half. Like Pamina almost always died,
Oy.
but Papageno always survived. Sarastro always died. It was really funny for us and for the audience.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and the project was like with people, like the soloists were all singers, professionals, and the we had like game masters, like with Dungeons and Dragons as well.
Yeah.
And they were not professionals. They were just fantasy nerds.
Okay.
They're friends of mine, and they did this production with me, and they were like the narrators for the whole story. They kept everything together, and that was the cool thing. And we were having so much fun. The audience too. Once when Pamina died, the audience was not having it. We had a very elderly woman who was like, "Oh my god,
Oh my god.
you could hear her." And I really had, because we were like figures.
Yeah,
so
of course.
The actors and the singers were all seen on stage. We were always at the end of the stage sitting on chairs.
Okay.
And then we got up when we were needed. And we all were laughing at the performance because of this old woman in the most sad scene because Pamina just killed herself. Yeah. That being said, the guy who was in the jury at the final performance at the exam is the boss of the music pedagogy part in Open House Zurich, Roger Lamley.
Open House,
He's like the boss there.
Yeah.
And he does all the children's and teenager productions. And so he was like, hey, we need a Kaspar for our Eröffnungsfest in Freischütz. do you want to do it? And I said yes.
Yes, of
without
course.
thinking. I was
No.
not even asking for the dates
No
or whatever
need to
because I was
ask.
like, yeah,
Of
of course I'm going there. If
Yeah.
Zurich
Sushi
calls
opera.
as
Yeah.
someone from
Yeah,
Switzerland,
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
And I did so. And then I was like, oh my God, what did I say? It's Kaspar. It's like a dramatical bustle part with very loud. And then it was like, how big is the orchestra? Like weeks later. And he was like, it's 4 people. And I was like, good, I can do it. but I was like, what did I do? And then I had really fun. I was sick. I had a cold on the day, but no one heard. And it was
No
really
one heard?
funny. Yeah, no one heard it apparently. So good for me. And it was really funny, and there were children who were crying because I was the bad guy, and they were afraid of me, but that was also planned. So
Okay,
everything
okay.
worked out. And then some months later, they needed the Papageno, like last minute, and I was like, yeah, of course I can do it. Again, I did not ask when or when were the rehearsals. I just said yes, and it worked out. And then I think that was like one of my last gigs before COVID-19 happened. It was like,
Really?
Yeah, I think it was
Oh,
one
yeah,
of my
yeah,
last
yeah,
big
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It was, I think it was in
2019,
February, January, somewhere there this year.
Okay, 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. So that's how I was allowed to sing 2 parts at Open House Zurich with the children. Yeah.
Well, how many cancellations did you got in the COVID-19?
Yeah,
We
I
don't
said I didn't count the performances, but it was a
Okay.
lot. It was a lot of small things,
small things.
but also big things. Like there was this poem that we would have done together
The
that
poem,
got
yeah.
cancelled
We
or
should be,
rescheduled twice now. It's
Is it
like
twice? Yeah,
it was May
true,
and
it's
December.
twice.
We will do it right now. Yeah, we will do it right now.
Yeah.
There was a Carmina Burana that would happen next month that
Oh.
I really wanted to do because it was, first of all, it's Carmina Burana.
Yeah.
It's very heavy for the baritone,
Yeah.
very difficult, but also very cool.
Yeah.
It was paid really well. So I
Oh,
went a bit, so I'm still a bit, but that was the big thing. There were a lot
Did
of
they
small
postpone
things.
it or it's just all
It's in
cancelled?
between. It's in limbo because they say we want to postpone it, but the organizers were so shocked about the whole situation that they're not even sure if they ever want to do it again or such a big program.
You mean they
project.
lost a lot
Of hope.
already?
Yeah, I think they lost. It's more hope,
Hope or
because
money.
they didn't
Okay.
get the money, or they were not. They canceled it already in June
Okay.
because they were like, we cannot rehearse with the choir because
No,
the
yeah.
choir is amateurs, like always in Switzerland,
Yeah.
or almost always.
Yeah.
That were the big things that got cancelled. There was a lot of small stuff in between as well, but yeah, you can't change that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you get your support from the government? Those lost your lost.
I did not because of myself. Because
Why?
When this whole thing started, I had a good friend who works at the Amt für Arbeitslosenversicherung. So she works there where the
Aha.
Kurzarbeit is decided.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, we need like 10 more people. Can you come in tomorrow and work with us for some months? And so I did.
Oh no.
And then I worked from March to July. I worked in a bureau, just like
Yeah.
a regular job once in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not asking for the money back because I think it should go to the people who really need it. Because I was so lucky. You know, I mean,
You got the
I was so lucky that I could go to work. I
Work
mean, it's
at
not my
least.
field of work,
yeah.
but
at-
so many of us didn't find something.
No.
I think everyone looked for something. But of course, if the gastronomy and the music are the 2 things that are the most closed down or forbidden, then
art.
you don't. Yeah, I
All
think
the art.
then you don't find a job.
Yeah,
it's
or
like
the
crazy.
artist.
So I was like, for those, I think it should have gone, and it did go apparently to the people who needed it. So yeah, and I also teach at free schools right now, so that helps as well to get over the finish line at the end of the month to pay my rent and my
And now,
healthcare.
now, do you have job stellen or the?
I work at the free schools. It
Free school,
amounts
okay.
to almost the amount of money I need to get through the month. Yeah,
Okay.
almost. And then I have singing students, 4 to 6. It always depends on the time. And I mean, right now, no one knows if I'm allowed to teach them or not because the rules are so unclear.
Are you?
But yeah,
Because in Switzerland, that you can also subscribe that as a self-employer.
Yeah, I do that. I'm officially.
So you are officially a self-employment artist, singer.
I'm officially a self-employed singer / voice teacher.
How do that work?
I think it's way too complicated because the state looks at it like it's my business, like I own a company or a business.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of true, but it's also not, because in the end, it's just more, I get paid for the lessons, that's it.
Yeah.
For the lessons I give or for the concerts I give, that's it. And I pay, like, I think every 3 months I pay, what's the English word? AHFO? Like elderly retirement security.
Retirement security, something like that. Yeah.
I pay this all 3 months, and it's more approximative. Like they say, we think
every
you
3
earned
months.
this. Yeah, they say we think you earned this year so much because you earned so much last year.
But
they do this like that. And
you
then,
cannot give them your income.
No, it's
papers.
like then in the end of the year you do. Actually, at the beginning of the year, but with me it's always the end of the year. You do the tax reform thing.
Gee,
the tax returns. You fill out that thing, and then they see if you earned more or less. And sometimes they give you money back, and sometimes you have to pay more. It's this way.
You mean both tax and AHFO?
Yeah, it's like crazy. At least that's how they explain it to me. Because I'm pretty sure that this year I paid too much AHFO.
Yeah.
Because nothing happened. But I guess they will have to pay me back a bit next year. So let's find out. I can't wait. Yeah.
And does it work as a self-employer that opera paid to your company or it's the same contract? Or
I think
I don't
it
understand.
Really depends how you do it. Because if I get, like, if the opera house gets me for a job, like with you, you're actually an employee of them for the time being.
Yeah.
So that's how they do it. Like if I think
so
something,
even you're a self-employer, you are being employed in that
both.
period.
Like it's a mixed, it's like a mixed version, and that is very difficult for the state to do the calculations, how much I owe them, how much whatever. And I get that, but it's like I think the biggest problem in Switzerland with COVID-19 was that the state and the government has not realized how many people are already in the gig economy.
Are you talking
artists.
about the canton and the
canton and the whole country? I think
country,
they did not realize how much gig economy is a thing already in Switzerland, especially in the arts.
What is gig economy?
Gig economy is like you go from job to job. You don't have 1 month you earn 2,000 francs, month you earn 8,000, whatever. It's like they did not really, and I think that's a problem because the whole relief things for us artists and self-employed people is based on a regular income. That's not it's not happening in our job. I mean, it's not a thing. And that's the thing where it not works, where it doesn't work. I think.
COVID did brings out this.
Yeah, I think so. I think this may be the only positive thing, because now the government knows how many people are already living from job to job and not bigger numbers. It's
but the societies did have cheaper prices for performance art.
Yeah, that's true. And it always gets cheaper, I think. Like
every year.
I have friends who started singing 20 years ago. They say 20 years ago, every concert was 1,000 francs. It didn't matter how big, how small.
Shit.
I can't believe that. I think they're lying. You see,
maybe 20 years ago, there's only medium concert like
maybe.
Today.
I was thinking I was like, if I will get paid for every concert that much, I would be rich. No.
I would be fucking rich.
I would be rich finally.
I would be fucking rich, you know?
I think that's the biggest problem, that they don't know how our job works. That we all live from gig to gig, that we have 10 or 11 gigs in 2 months. And we have teaching jobs, and we have jobs where we sing as soloists, and we have jobs where we do something completely different. And I think that was the thing that really confused them a bit. But now we're like 7 months later, at least, and they're still confused by it. And that's what I don't get, personally.
That's cool. You bring me the new idea of the situations now. Yeah, true. They cannot understand our life.
I think so.
Artists are very mystery, huh? Compared to
apparently,
apparently we are very mystery people.
For us, it's very regular. Like I have this one job where I do the warm-ups and some vocal training with a choir.
Yeah.
This is 30 minutes all 3 weeks because they also
All
have
3
someone
weeks.
else.
30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes. I mean, half an hour. They have another person who does it as well. So it's all 3 or 2 weeks for each of us. And they pay us 65 francs for those half hour.
Okay.
And I have a friend.
But
I mean,
have
it's fine. I mean, it's half an hour, 65 francs is really a lot of money. I'm not debating this.
Yeah.
but then I told a friend who has nothing to do with the arts, and she was like, "Yeah, but this is just half an hour." And I was like, "Yeah, because that's my job. Because I have like 5 or 4 students who pay me an amount per lesson, and it all gets together at the end of the month." And she was also blown away how this works. So it's a lot of people don't know that this gig economy thing is how the arts work actually
in Switzerland.
Yeah, I think that's true. In Switzerland, yeah, that's true.
True.
Yeah.
Wow. Somehow Switzerland keep the old styles of the.
I think
the things. Huh? this is very.
Like
now I start to recognize how crazy is it. Oh my god, this is actually very old schools of the people who survive in the societies.
Yeah, it's very old school actually. It's crazy. I mean, it's always like that with Switzerland. Like we love to be in the west of Europe, and we think we're very progressive and very liberal.
Yeah.
I think by Western Europe standards, that's not true. I think we're actually quite a conservative people. I mean, I'm very progressive and liberal. I'm an artist. It's almost like a cliche. So sometimes I'm how is this not a thing yet in Switzerland? They are like, but Swiss people are very convinced that we are very progressive and very liberal, and it's fine. I mean, discrepancies can happen. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. But sometimes it's a bit frustrating when you have like people being shocked when they hear how the Scandinavian countries work.
Yeah.
And like they are always like, what, that's a thing in Europe already? I'm like, yeah.
For example?
I think the whole parents vacation, what's the word? Vaterschaftsurlaub, Elternzeit. If you get a child, that you get some time off and you're still paid. I think in Sweden you get both get a year.
You mean?
Yeah, both get like a year.
Your payment. If you stay at home taking care of your child, you also got paid for.
Yeah. Maternal leave, paternal leave.
In Sweden?
I think in Sweden you both get a year, and if the man doesn't take some of his time, the woman loses it as well. Because in the beginning the women took the time, the man did not, and so the new rule was. Yeah, okay, you both take it or you both lose it. That was
really?
That was the Swedish rule for a long time. Yeah. I mean, that's a bit hardcore, but
so you mean that in Sweden that women have to stop their job for 1 year in the beginning, and then the second year
I don't think it's a year, but I think they don't have it to take it at once.
At once, okay.
But yeah, it's like an amount of time you should take actually, or you can take. It's more of an opportunity.
Okay.
But I don't want it that much. It's like just I don't know if. I mean, you're newly a father, I think. Yeah. And we had this whole Abstimmung as well, this whole referendum here as well about paternal leave.
Yeah.
And people were like, 2 weeks is way too much. We cannot pay for that. Our economy will die.
In Switzerland.
And I was like, yeah, but have you seen that the other countries with a worse economy than ours can make it work for 2 years? There's a difference. Yeah. So that's about Swiss people being, I think, a bit more conservative than they like or than they think they are. But yeah.
I sometimes feel that the government or the canton, they are observing each other's or observing to the Western Europe to see, okay, what's outside or what are they doing now? Yeah. Okay, they are doing this, so we should do this now.
Yeah.
It's
a bit
things I feel they're trying to see how the big brother's doing now.
Yeah, that's a very good. Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's a way of don't be too special, don't be too crazy with your ideas.
Yeah.
First, watch the other people do it. If it works, we might do it as well. Yeah. But
but
That's
it's a bit delaying. That's
the point. Yeah, I mean, another example is this whole marriage equality. I think our parliament is debating this for 7 years now.
7 years for the.
If
we
it's
are
happening
talking
or
about
not,
the.
the marriage equality. They're now debating for
yes.
7 years about that.
Yeah.
And it's not even that. I think 7 years is way too long to debate a new rule, a new thing, and it's going back and forth between the both chambers of parliament, and it's crazy. And I think when they started debating it, there wasn't half of the population for marriage equality, and now it's over half for. Like they lost, the people against it lost like the people actually. They really lost their people. Because there was a huge drift in 7 years.
Yeah.
And that's why younger people are like, why is that not a thing? Because they don't know how it was 7 years ago. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a problem.
Yes.
That's a bit of a problem.
So in the end, there's no communications. It will just be revolutions or postponed.
Maybe it needs one. No. But you never know. I'm just joking. This is not always a good thing.
Yeah, it's not cool.
I know.
I come from Taiwan.
Yeah, I know.
You know, we also have the marriage equality already.
I know. Yeah, I've read that. Yeah.
Now you can marry anyway. Yeah, but you do feel that we have less conversations before towards the other.
Oh really? Yeah.
I do feel that a bit. It's a bit sorry for many of my friends' family that they have a very big fight after or before already with the parents. But it's also cool that since the things come, they start to do more conversations.
Yeah.
So it also can be after.
I think so too. I think it's good if at least the conversation is happening. I think that's the important thing.
That's what I'm happy about my country now, that everyone is started to do the conversations. There are many people started to do the conversations nowadays.
Yeah. That sounds
Which
good.
I find out that in Switzerland, the artists are not very communicated.
And also not connected. Yeah. Both. I think, that I did not know that. And I think maybe it's
you did not know that?
I didn't know it when it happened now, the whole thing. And then I was like, oh fuck, nothing is happening. I was like, no one is talking with each other. It's crazy. We had this with, this is this example again. Last week, the government of the whole country said no more singing, except for for mandatory
profession.
School. For mandatory school.
Only mandatory school.
Like with mandatory school with lessons. Only singing lessons. They were like singing lessons only in mandatory school. In Switzerland, in most cantone, this means elementary school and high school. Like first grade to 9th grade.
What?
So the music schools are not part of that officially.
Yeah.
If you use this legal words, then the music schools are excluded. They're not allowed to do singing lessons right now. So the organizations, they did find out if it's okay. And apparently for the music schools, it's fine to still teach. But no one found out if it's for private singing teachers like me, if it's allowed.
But to teach who? What? Huh?
To teach singing.
I know, but what does that mean? That you can teach but not private, sure about private? I mean,
that's the point. No one knows.
Choir?
Yeah, no one knows if I can teach my students. Like if I can teach the people who come to me for singing lessons. I like right now I have 5 people, and we don't know if I can teach them officially or even legally if I am allowed to teach them right now singing. Because no one knows. Because we found out in music schools it's allowed. Yeah. But now it's a week later and still no one has found out if it's for private teachers as well. If it's allowed or not. And that's crazy. And all of these organizations, I think one asked officially for private lessons, but the others were just like, music schools are still allowed. And we were like, most Swiss people who are singers don't teach at music schools, they teach privately. Yeah. And sometimes there's like this surprise Pikachu meme that I think very often right now about. That's it's working everywhere right now because most people are not hired by music schools to teach. Because there are not that many music schools. So many singers. It's like crazy. But then people are surprised that I'm like, we really need to start communicate better. It's, as you said, be more connected and communicate better.
I know you have this singer groups, which I believe it might be the biggest WhatsApp singers group in the Switzerland.
I think it is.
I think it is.
I don't know if it is, but I think, yeah.
I think it is, because there are so many informations before the pandemic that everyone exchanged the job they cannot take or they don't want to take inside the groups. And every week we have something inside the group that here needs a soprano, there needs a tenor, something like that. Yeah. But since the pandemic, there's nothing at all.
Yeah, now some tenors are asked for because it's Christmas.
Yeah.
And then you need the tenors again, but
is that allowed? I don't understand. No. Because what I heard is that you cannot sing together in the place. So church, it's a place that can you sing together? Or?
I think the soloists can sing if they're professionally trained official singers. Yeah. They're allowed to do some music. Sing some music. Yeah.
I understand that too, but is there a mass that works with only 4 soloists without choir?
No, I think mass is difficult. Either the soloists do the choir as well. That's one thing.
Oh, you mean 4 singers have to cover the soloist and the choir?
I know that some people...
God, that's crazy.
And some people have those gigs right now. I know 2 friends who do this on 25th of December, on Christmas.
Holy!
Yeah, I know. And then the other people, and a lot of other people just do arias. Then you do just like, if you just do like something from Weihnachtsoratorium and everyone is happy. And everyone is happy. But it's not that much. And there are some cantone who I think don't allow it in general. So I think most people know if they have a Christmas gig on the 25th, to be really honest. Then they know if it's really happening, I think. Or maybe...
So it's also something in the between, the limbo.
Yeah, I think it's all the limbo again. No one knows what's okay.
I'm higher and not hired in the same time.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like Schrödinger's cat or something.
Schrödinger's cat.
Something like that.
We're talking about physics. No.
Yeah, it's this. Yeah, and about this singer's chat, it's like it's not mine. It's of a good friend of mine. She started it.
Yeah.
With some other friends of her.
Yeah.
Exactly for this, and I think at the beginning because
information,
it's more information. It's exchange. It was never about being a group about debating so many discussions.
Never.
Especially after so many people started to be part of this group.
Yeah.
And then was this moment where someone did send a meme, and then 20 people did send an emoji as an answer. And like I said, this was never...
That's all singers communicating the group.
And this was then we started to forbid memes and stuff like that. And it's very tyrannical. I get that, because the bosses of the groups got some WhatsApp privately from other people in the group who were like, this is so annoying. I'm here to get more jobs or to be more connected and not for this. We were like, yeah, we get you. We were like, we get it. So we did this first. And then happened some things about people saying, I was with this voice teacher and it was terrible. Don't give her money.
Yeah.
And I think
I saw that.
Stuff like that. And for me, it was too much. I was like, we were in this pandemic.
Yeah. Everyone is in the hell.
I was like, I get that stuff like this happens because we are all in this limbo. Like,
everyone is unsure. Everyone is insecure in this period.
Yeah, I get that. But it was like, and I left my moderation job in this group because I'm also part of an opera collective. So I have a lot to organize there.
Okay.
I have my free schools where I teach music lessons to children and teenagers. I have my students. I was like, no, this is not happening. I don't have the time for that. So I was there to make some decisions when this one really big incident happened. And then I left.
So now they
do that. They have to deal with
the issues there.
With singers' egos.
Yeah. Now everyone's muted.
Yeah, everyone is muted except for the administrators. I mean, I voted for it. I'm very open. I was still part of the administrators when this happened, because it was never supposed to be a place for debates and arguments. It was
Yeah,
always
yeah.
a trade of information. It's what it was, and we thought it's the easiest version. It's a bit a cop out, I know that, but I think it's the easiest version to do this whole. I can sing. I'm sick. Can you do it? This is what it's about. Yeah. And I'm happy for that, to be really honest. I mean, you have seen I think there was no job for baritones since this happened. I think 2 or 3 for tenors and 2 for sopranos, and that's it.
Or they're looking for SATB in one. They're a baritone.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I've sang so many basso things on Christmas because that's how it works. But it's really good because especially if you do on the 24th, you have the midnight mass.
Yeah.
And then you get up at 4 because the midnight mass will
then
be
you
like
have the morning.
In the west of Switzerland, and the one on the 25th will be in the south.
Yeah. You have to go
in the morning, so you will have 3 hours of sleep or something, and then you will be a basso. Then it works. No, then it works perfectly.
Do you have a car?
No. I'm really personally against the car.
Really? That's good.
As I told you, I mean, I did this. My second master was this specialized performance master with Musikvermittlung.
Yeah.
And there was this job that it would have been really great, I think. But I was like, I'm not doing it because I can't drive, and they want someone who drives and has a car. And I was thinking about, am I willing to learn how to drive and to have a car for this job? And then I was like, no, it's only 20%. It's 1 day a week. And I was like, nah, it's like my morals were yet still great. How should I say this? My morals were still more important than the money, which I kind of don't agree now anymore.
I see.
After the COVID-19 thing, I'm a bit more like, maybe I should have learned how to drive. No, but it's how it is. Yeah, you can't change it. I can't change it now. Yeah. So it's always train for me if I do these performances.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of singers don't have cars and don't own cars in Switzerland.
I mean, in Switzerland it's quite normal. You have a very good public transportation.
Yeah.
Connections is good.
Yeah,
besides, you don't drive very late. Everything is fine.
Do you have a car?
No.
Ah, okay. So it's the same.
I started to regret that I didn't change. I started to regret that I didn't change my driving license when I arrived Switzerland.
Oh yeah.
I should have because now it's already past the time limit. So if I want to have one, I probably have to get the exam passed to have it. Yeah,
and that's typical Switzerland, though. It's
typical Switzerland.
I don't get that.
You are robbers.
I know. No, look, sometimes I say this half as a joke, but sometimes I think stuff is complicated so that people don't do it. I really have this.
But you don't intend to make everything complicated so that everyone cannot do anything.
They do. No, like it depends on the day and my mood. If I have a bad day, I really start to believe it's very difficult to get the Corona Ersatzzahlung because they don't want us to fill in the form. It's like it's really that. And then on a good day, I know it's just impossible to do it in a smooth way. On a good day, I'm sane enough to know.
Yeah.
They just don't want. It's just difficult. Yeah,
it's just difficult. No, I understood. Everyone have difficulty now. So not just us. I mean, government have difficulties.
Yeah.
All the people who works for government are difficult now.
I mean, I worked for the government for 4 months.
Yeah, that must
bureau.
be. How is it?
And it was crazy because you can see the people are. I think some people they could have if they had so many. How do you say that? Überstunden. Over hours? I don't know. That's not the word.
Overwork, overload.
I mean, they had so many hours. They worked already so many hours too much that a lot of them could have closed like in November. The whole department. They could have closed the whole department.
I mean, there are many people who goes to therapy or having a break during the pandemic. I guess.
I think a lot of their people. No, I think it was just I mean, that's true, yeah.
Because of the impact of suddenly so many people contacting them, asking them what to do.
I think the bigger problem was really just the mass. Because it was, if you did it in Canton Bern, if you had your business and you had to put it on, put it down more or less, or just say, I can't pay you right now because we can't work, you could write our department with the Kurzarbeitsentschädigung.
Yeah.
And and because it was not allowed to do this online in an online format.
But there's Corona.
Because of private privacy reasons.
Yeah.
So you have to fill the form by hand and send it to us. And
okay.
I started to work there, I think, somewhere around the end of March. And they were still just opening letters from the middle of March, because in this department they had 3 or 5 people working in the bureau.
Only.
And that's why, because usually you don't need more. Then that's why they had like, for one day we had like a task force in this department with 20 people or so who did only open letters and sort them into in what they were, in which category they belonged. That was just the thing I did the 2 first weeks when I was there. And now they finally could change it with the privacy problems. So now you can do it online. And this gave them a bit of a moment to breathe. And now they can kind of do their work share right now. But because since the government changes the rules every week in the moment, it starts again at the beginning of every week. And then at the end of the week, they're having normal work days again. So it's crazy. It's like, and sometimes you see, when you work there, you see where the problem is. Why is it such a big workload?
Yeah.
But you can't change it because you
are not the boss. You are not the
matter if you're
manager
the boss or not.
Yeah.
And because there's no easy, you see what the easier solution is, but that doesn't mean that the government can do it like that. Because they also have their same workload and they don't know, and maybe that's just not on their plate. It's like not the priority for them, because they don't even think about it, because they have other very important stuff to do. And I think that's a bit a problem, because it was just too much for everyone.
Yeah.
If you're a federal council member or you're just a regular working class person, it was just crazy. It still is. I mean,
it is crazy.
It still is. Yeah, it's just a crazy situation.
I believe there are still people who's not covered by this, by help.
I know. Apparently, it's crazy. And I don't know what the solution is, to be really honest. I don't know. I mean, I'm always lucky that I knew when I started singing, I don't want to only sing. I always knew I want to teach as well. I always knew I will sing as long as I'm having fun with it, but I don't think I will be, I will not getting a retirement as a singer. Like I know, I think with 50 or something like that, I think I will try to get to do something else again. I think I need this now in my life for myself, to be really honest. That's why I'm a singer. I need it right now for myself, and I have so much fun with it. But I know there will be a day where I need a job that's a bit less stressed out, less stressful. And that's why I'm working as a teacher. I'm working as a regular music teacher. I work as a singing teacher. That's why I have this opera company, this opera collective, where we are just, this year we are 6 singers and 1 conductor, and we do a production, and we had to postpone it to next year.
Because you're 6.
Yeah, no, because I know. No, because Corona. I know.
It's because Corona, always.
But we had to postpone it like 3 times now.
No.
It's like crazy. And I said, if it's not happening next June, we record it and sell it as a movie. I was like, we're not postponing it again. I was like, this is not gonna happen again.
I have already many friends. Their group decided to make the video or movies in the end.
And I mean, I also did this whole festival in summer where we did this Liedrecitale.
Yeah.
And you can still order them. I'm plugging myself now. You can still order them.
Cool.
You can still
that's
order
good.
them till
Plugging yourself, please.
You can still order them till February. and I always do other stuff as well, not just singing.
Yeah.
I always see myself as a company that you have to manage and everything do yourself. And I think right now it saved my ass, because I still have teaching jobs. I still have other jobs. And I'm really happy for that. I think it's a lot of stress. It's also a lot of stress that you embrace, because it's just because it's more smaller things, it doesn't mean it's less annoying to organize. It's less difficult to organize. It's still a lot. But right now I'm happy I did that. Because I know that I was thinking last Christmas, I was thinking about leaving one of my teaching jobs. I was
Why?
just like, I didn't see why I was doing this. It was a bit difficult because the whole equipment wasn't there to really teach music. The students weren't interested in music, but they had to choose between drawing,
Flute.
I think just drawing and
drawing?
music. They had to between arts and singing or music.
Yeah,
they had
yeah,
to be
yeah.
choose,
Fine art or
but they
something.
had to do one of them.
Mhm.
And a lot of them were just here because they hated drawing more. And I was just not seeing myself doing this anymore. And then around Christmas, I started to read those a bit more intensely, those stories about from Asia, about all this COVID-19. I was like, maybe it's not the time to leave my teaching job. I was really and now I'm really happy that I didn't, but I was really like, oh, this is not going to end well. And now we are a year later. It's now my favorite teaching job of my 3 teaching jobs. It's the one I love the most right now. It's really crazy.
You liar!
It's really crazy.
You this liar!
No, it's really the one I liked at the moment. I really love it the
No,
most.
kids are annoyed. Quit your job.
No, those were the teenagers. Those are the teenagers who are even more
annoyed. Quit your job.
And it's special because it's 10th grade. In Switzerland, we don't have 10th grade. At least not in Canton.
10th grade.
10th grade means you didn't get
Passed to the
high school or you didn't get a job. Like
because you worked earlier. Yeah, true.
So you go into 10th grade to change either one of those 2 things. And they're really here to get, like, if they have some knowledge, things that they don't know, to repair that. They're really just a year there to be ready to be either in high school or again trying to learn a job.
Yeah.
And I kind of get that music is not that important in that year. If you really take this seriously, you have other problems. And you really
10th grade, come on.
Yeah, and I mean, I know how I was at that age, so it's crazy. and now I understand them better, because this year was a good year to connect a bit with the students, especially the older ones.
Of course.
And now I understand them better, and so I really like the job now.
Cool.
And let's see how long I keep that job, because I'm not a trained teacher. I'm only a trained singing teacher.
Yeah.
In Switzerland, it's like not the same.
Not the same, of course.
Yeah, so I'm actually doing a job there, and I get less money than someone who would have the actual qualifications, but they're very happy with me, so I stay there as long as I can.
That's good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we will have a break here, I think. Is that fine?
That's fine for me. I can drink something.
Welcome back to the stage, folks. This is Arion Rudari. So Arion, it's very interesting to talk with you. We just talk about some politics there. I think in Switzerland, it's pity. There are not many artists, politicians.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't need to be artist. Well, is it possible to be artist and politician in the same time?
I'm not sure if you can still be a practicing artist.
Practicing artist?
Yeah, still,
You cannot be still performing.
No, I mean, I know that in our government we have one person who's actually a trained pianist.
One person.
She's actually she has a concert diploma. She has like a master of performance.
Yeah.
On piano. But I think then she changed into politics.
You changed into politics.
I think she changed over to politics. And I'm not sure if you could do both at the same time, to be really honest.
And he speaks for, what is his name?
Her name is, Simonetta Sommaruga.
And does she speak for artists, usually? I think
this is a very hot topic right now.
Very hard topic.
Because lots of people say she doesn't.
Oh.
But we don't know, because a lot of people don't understand. We have 7 people in our government, and they vote on issues.
Yeah,
but then you have to, what the majority wants, you have to like take outside. So there's a huge chance that both are social democrats who both play the piano. They're both like,
oh really?
They both have sometimes to say stuff and have to defend stuff that they didn't vote for, most likely. The same on the other side as well. Sometimes you vote on stuff and you lose, and then you have to be for that stuff that you voted against. And we don't know how they vote. They don't tell us. That's part of their rules, their principles.
Don't tell you?
They don't tell they go there, they have this. Like with the Corona things, they are like, okay, from tomorrow, no more concerts. And then they vote. They debate and then they vote. And we will not know who voted how, because that's not how they work.
That was decided by the 7.
Yeah, usually it's those 7. I mean, it's the people who work for them who make the ideas and bring it to them.
And then they debate and vote.
They vote on every single issue. And that's a lot of things that people don't know. So we don't know if Frau Sommaruga helps the artists or not, because we literally don't know. That's an important thing to remember.
And they cannot tell you after the vote.
They usually don't, because
they cannot say that actually I vote for you, but other guys don't vote for.
It's an unwritten rule. We call it Kollegialitätsprinzip. And it's an unwritten rule. And the last guy who was very playing with this line, the rest of the parliament voted him out. Some years later, he had like one. He was in our government for 4 years. He was very hated on the left, very loved on the right.
Dude, you are so into politics.
He's like the most.
How come you know so many things?
He's the most important politician in Switzerland. He's Christoph Blocher.
Okay.
And he was very hated on the left, like really hated, and very loved on the right. And he was like 4 years. He was like this. He was really breaking this Kollegialitätsprinzip. He was like a lot of I'm against it, saying it to the media and everything. But he shouldn't. And so the left and the center voted him out 4 years later.
Yeah.
It was a huge drama, and it changed politics in Switzerland until now, sadly. It was really a huge problem. And so that's happening with Bundesräte, with our government. If you're too much speaking to the media about stuff you don't want to do, but you have to, then there's a huge chance the parliament gets rid of you 4 years later.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. And so what about this week? We just heard that yesterday that all the art events have to be paused or stopped it until January. Yeah, it's also decided by them.
I think it's only allowed as online concerts. As I understood.
Online concerts.
The online, just streaming and everything. I think,
sure.
I don't know if everyone in the government ever streamed something.
Have they ever watched online show?
I don't know.
I really question that.
I think the answer is no.
Yeah.
But it's terrible. I know. It's really terrible.
It's not like TV.
Yeah.
It's online. It's different things.
It's different. And I did this, I plugged it in the first part, this online festival, and I see that it's not the same. And the level has to be, if you do this stuff.
The equipment.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Come on. It's not there. Anything is not there. You don't have that good camera, don't have that good microphones, and you have to have the team to do that.
Yes, exactly.
You have to have the team for supporting all the technique.
But someone needs to pay them.
Yeah, someone has to pay them. Come on, guys.
No, I agree 100%. It's like crazy. And then you read stuff like this whole, but it's still allowed to make music and art, but only if you na. And the only if you na part is where the problems are. I mean, no one will organize those streaming concerts because they will most likely have financial losses, and they will not earn anything. And so de facto, it's like a verbot for the. It's
verbot.
Like it's forbidden to do music and art, but not de jure. And I think that's the problem.
Jure.
De jure, it means like legally it's not forbidden, but factually it's like forbidden. Actually, it's like they can say we don't have to pay you because we did not forbid it.
Yeah. But
actually, de facto, it's forbidden.
That's everywhere in Switzerland, I feel. There's always this jure stuff.
Yeah, I know.
It's not cool. For me, okay,
I get that.
I should not say that, but it's not cool. If you have this jure stuff everywhere, everyone will try to find the exceptions of the rules, and that can not stop the pandemic. Yes. The pandemic won't stop if everyone is trying to find this outside the words. Like what government said, we have to find something outside their words to survive or to deal with it. It just cannot.
I was surprised that we didn't have that yet in Switzerland.
What?
But I think in the UK, there was this campaign about Fatima is now a dancer, but her next job could be in IT. It was not a thing that went on for long. It was like artists, of course.
Where's my gun? Where's my gun?
Yeah, I know. This was exactly how everyone reacted. And it's really, they still make memes. I think this happened months ago, and it's still a number one meme in the UK. And I love it. Every week there's a new one on my Facebook feed, and I'm like, it's like, it's really, really terrible. And I was really surprised that this did not happen in Switzerland yet.
Do you try to search jobs on Arbeit Suisse? Arbeit.Suisse?
I tried because I'm still want to work more right now, and I need to work more.
How was it? How do you feel?
Yeah, you know how it is, I think. I guess you try too.
IT, personal assistance, what?
And a lot of, normally for us artists, the job that you do is somewhere in the restaurants, whatever. Like go be a waiter for some days in the week, and then you have enough money with your concerts and everything. That's not a thing right now. No,
that's not a thing.
No restaurant is looking for employees.
No one will look for employees. Like, hi
terrible.
Guys, I know you are suffering in COVID. Come to our restaurant to work for us.
Yeah, it's
no
really,
one would. It's not there.
It's
Come
really
on.
crazy, and I don't get that. I mean, I get it.
I get it too.
It's very terrible. I mean, that's why. But I was really surprised that this did not happen in Switzerland. This whole, like everywhere having a placard of, your next job could be something that's good. It's like really terrible.
Somehow they covered the social help did covered the
parts of it.
Parts of it.
Yeah.
You know, if you are employed by someone, you got no job during the coronas, you still got payment. 80%, something like that.
Yeah, officially, especially if it's a regular job.
Yeah, regular job.
Then it's 80%
till 100.
I worked there.
80 till 100%. They pay you, and then if you're self-employment, there is still Kurzarbeit.
Kurzarbeit.
But
this is
from the
AHV,
they also help the people who is self-employment. And then if you're unemployed because of coronas, you also have Arbeitslosenkasse. Arbeitslosenkasse. RAF still pays you your monthly income. And actually it's good. They even make you 4 months more than you usually have or something. 6 months?
Because I worked there. That was where I worked those 4 months. Yeah, I worked there. That was the place where they decide all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy because they pay you, but they also look like if you don't search it for a job, they stop paying you immediately.
I'm now covered by this Arbeitslosenkasse, so I have to find job every month.
That's the point. That's the point.
That's why I'm on Arbeit Suisse.
Genau. I mean, I get that.
And I have to say, it's so humiliated to us.
Yeah.
I understand. Those people who work in Arbeitslosenkasse, usually in the normal time, they have to face to those people who have problems with finding jobs or got kicked out from the systems. Yeah. So the way they treat them, I'm now feeling that the usual way they treat them. But I also understand they are trying to be friendly. I do feel that.
Yeah,
they are trying to be, okay, you're an artist. I think you can try this and this and this. I feel that.
The problem is, it's like, we had this in the first part of it.
We talked about that already.
You work there. You don't make the rules, though.
No.
I'm not allowed to tell you how they think about those rules because I work there. But they don't make the rules.
Yeah.
Some lawyers and some politicians make the rules, and they just have to execute them. And I can say that a lot of them, I think I can say that a lot of them don't agree with all of the rules.
Of course.
Even the lawyers who work there don't always agree when they have to say, I'm sorry, we cannot pay you anymore. Sometimes they want to pay you personally. But they know it's not allowed with the rules of Switzerland or of the Canton Bern. And that's the problem, I think.
They could stop to pay you because of what issues?
It's stuff like you did not write applications to work somewhere. You have to write, if you don't have a job at all, you have to write, I think, you name the number with your... Like your guy who does it with you, who works there, you'd say like 4 or 5 applications a month.
Or 20.
Whatever. It can be anything.
It
can be anything. And if you don't do them on time, they start to pay you less.
Yeah, they start to pay you less.
And sometimes the lawyers really understand why this happened, but they cannot, because the rules are the rules, they cannot change it legally.
Oh, okay.
Because they have to say, those are the rules in the Canton Bern. I'm so sorry, but we can't give you the money back. Because this and this is not working with our rules. And it's really hard. I get that. And there's not a lot of leeway. Like you cannot, there's not a lot of room for interpretation, as I learned, because my job there was sometimes to correct those rulings of the lawyers.
Yeah.
Like to read it, correct some spelling mistakes and stuff like that, and send it out. So you read that stuff, and you yourself, you're like, I totally get the person who lost some money right now.
Yeah.
But I see with the rules, they were at fault, apparently.
A fault, you
Yeah,
mean?
they did the mistake, sadly.
Yeah.
So you cannot change that. And it's really hard to see that. And this is part of why I'm happy that I don't work there anymore. Because you see how many people get punished for not being educated, for example. For not being educated well and whatever.
It's kind of about education,
Yes.
They are not educated.
Yeah.
No one wants to be there.
Yes.
In this Arbeitsschutzklasse.
Of course,
no one wants to be there. No one was teaching in their life that you have to do this when you are there.
Yes.
Why we are teaching that? And then you have to be punished that every mistake you made there.
Yeah.
That is so sad.
And it's really sad. I agree.
Sad stories.
This goes back to your first thing that we do that we talked about. It's now in the second part. It's like maybe we should have more people in politics who come from this background, who maybe once had to go to the Arbeitslosenkasse, who maybe once came from nothing.
Yeah.
But I think it's so hard to do this jump to be into the establishment. I don't know, but I think we should need more people like that.
I think artists should have a more united
I think
situation.
we need one union. I think we need a union in Switzerland.
We need one union or very strong one and have a strong leaders in the group or so on. But you can see it's happening. It's happening. There are many Sonart or people who works used to be. We don't care. I mean, in the past we have no issues of. We have issues, but we are fine. Fine to live with
I agree.
We suffered, but we're fine.
Especially Sonart is really crazy because, I mean, they do also, and I really love that they do that. They also ask questions with the government, everything. That's not typically their job. There may be some other organization that's more for this tribe of music, but they still do it.
True.
And sometimes I think they do the job of the other organizations as well. You never hear something from some of the other organizations, but you always hear Sonart doing the job.
Yes,
and I think I'm really grateful for that.
Yes.
I mean, I'm still not even a member because I wanted to pay that, and then I saw it's like 120 francs. It's not that much, honestly.
Honestly, if you already start to work,
it's 10 francs a month. But this year it was just not happening for me with this whole pandemic. It was just not happening. But next year, as soon as the whole thing relaxes, hopefully, this will be the first thing I pay for, the membership with them.
Me too.
I really think they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
And now we're plugging them.
No, we're plugging them.
But it's good. They deserve it. I really think I've never seen someone else.
So guys in Sonart, please accept my interview. I did send in invitations. Now we are trying to make that happen.
Yeah, do that, please. No, because it's really like that. I haven't seen an organization doing so much work in this time like them.
And they doesn't look very, how to say, it's not their job.
Not everything.
No,
I think
everything.
They really try to do
their career is not there.
No, they are all musicians. I know some of them. I know some of them.
Yeah.
And they're all working as singing teachers, as singers, as
or
one is a jazz musician, I think. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean,
so you also see in the pandemic, this things started to happen.
Yes.
It's good of it, which is suffering, but it's good.
Yes.
And I hope everyone come out and talk. That's also why I'm doing the podcast.
No, I thought so. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, why does he do that? I think because of reasons like that. Yeah.
Yes, communication, speak, because we need to speak. We need to have a place to speak, no matter how many people are listening.
Yeah.
As long as we are recorded and we put it online, one day there will be more people listening or hearing it. Our voice. That's important. That's very important to speak out and to find the people to listen.
Yeah, totally. it's sometimes it's simple, but no one thinks of it. It's the problem. And it's like you said, there is a missing union. Like
it's a missing part of us.
Missing in Switzerland.
If there's not non-union, artists are always weak. You see how much they pay. We cannot say no, or we cannot raise the price. We don't know how much is the right price.
Yes.
And no one can punish the employer if they are doing something not correct. You never know. There are something. I mean, Switzerland is a very fine country, and everyone is nice guys in Switzerland. But there are also assholes.
Yeah, no. I mean, I had this happen with. I will not say who because that's not the place to do that.
Yeah.
But I did. As you know, you have seen me at Hakabe. We did one contemporary opera together, even this.
L'Observation.
Let's not talk. It's great. I want to work at Hakabe.
It's so great. I want to work again. I
want to get a job at Hakabe in the future.
Too.
So it's great. No, but I mean, a lot of stuff was great, but still, it was just very.
It's a good laboratory.
Yes, it's
art. I like it.
I mean, in a school setting as it was, this worked really well. But I didn't want to talk about them because I want to talk about contemporary opera. Contemporary opera, I do a lot of them because they're paid really well, I think, usually.
Okay.
And I kind of like contemporary music. I think there's a lot of bad stuff, but there's also good stuff.
Yeah.
So I stepped in a contemporary world premiere in the last few years. I'm not telling which one.
Cool.
And
there are not too many world premiere, you know.
But I stepped in 2.5 weeks before the premiere.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I got the contract. The first version was full with some spelling mistakes and with stuff that's not fine, like the whole with the train, we only pay it if you have a receipt for it, but I have a general abonnement, so I pay every month the same amount, but I can drive wherever I want. This was excluded in the contract.
Excluded? So if you have abonnement general, they don't pay you the train.
So I sent them back with the comment that, sorry, but I pay my GEA with this, so please. It's like, we're not doing this. And stuff like this. And I think I got the final contract a week before the premiere, because I said we had really debates about this, like really almost fighting. And there was this one rehearsal where I had to tell he was over 70, the composer, most likely his last big opera because of his age, and I had to tell him, I'm sorry, but I will not come practice tomorrow because I still haven't gotten a correct contract. And then the next morning it came, because the composer himself, very old, had to call the project manager and say, what's happening? Hey, this is like a big final thing for me. Yeah. And it's really crazy that this had to happen, you know?
Why it is happening like this?
Yeah.
Why you can hire someone to work for you before you give them the contract?
Yes, I mean, because I was stepping in. I think all the others had a contract before because they were planned as a cast. But I was really just
so you are replacing the person who quit there.
But that worked then, and I think I had the best contract of all of them, because theirs was the same like mine. But I was the one who was like very annoying about the contract, and then I got the best contract.
First, you could. Second, you should.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's first things, because in our educations, we didn't have anyone teach us how to negotiate, how to deal with those issues, and what is the right contract looks like, and what is your right to ask for.
Yeah, I see that.
You see that? You see that? No one educated us to do this. I mean, we learn it by experience.
I mean, to say something good about our alma mater, because we were a bit mean with Le Sauvage before. No, I mean, they have this course, actually, that you can go into, and you even get ECTS for it. Also, you even get
ECTS?
You even get credits for it, for your master, for your diploma.
Yeah.
But they have courses like that at Hakabe, actually, that you can write. And that's really cool. I think that's something where the school is really good. They don't force you, it's not mandatory, but you can get those courses, and they really teach you how contracts work and what's not working and what is working. And maybe they should make it mandatory. So
it's my fault that I didn't go to this course.
I'm not sure. You were in opera studio, so I'm not sure if you could go, to be really honest. That's the other thing, because you're like this.
No, I mean, in opera, don't you feel that in opera they even try to make you more... Don't touch that part. That's agencies.
I know. I think that's the point. Yeah, I don't know if the opera studio teaches you that, but I think opera works like this. Yeah. Sometimes I'm thinking about maybe I should audition for agents.
Oh, you never?
No, I never did.
You should. No, it's very fun.
Is it really? Is auditioning ever fun? I've never heard someone tell me auditioning is great. No, my career worked kind of, because I work in everything. I do some geistliche Konzerte, I do some opera, I do some Liederabend. I do a lot of Liederabend
that's
and
cool.
stuff like that. So it always worked without auditioning, but it also
yeah.
knew it will never be the hugest career because of that. Because if you really want to be huge, you have to do the audition circus. I think you have to get an agent, you have to get...
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure if you want to be good or be famous, you have to always do auditions.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what the answer is. So if someone knows and is listening to this podcast, tell us, please. It's very important to know.
Many people who got my podcast invitations are young but becoming stars. I can feel that those people who's going to be stars on stage, and most of them have the same experience of someone come to the show and saw their shows and heard their voice and find out they are really good. So
yeah, that's good.
So I think more is that if you are on stage, more.
Yeah.
As much as possible, you get on stage, you got more chance to get famous or get a bigger stage.
I agree with
auditions is just something come by that. They will invite you for the auditions when they come to see you sing on the stage. Anyway, you don't really have to always send the email to every agencies and wait for them to reply to you after 6 months or something. But you can find something by just performing, right? Yeah.
I agree. I mean, most
your experience
jobs,
as well.
Most jobs I got because our alma mater invited the children's boss from Open City. I mean, it's true. It's really true. And it's really great I have to say, it was like, that's the dream. Like you go there, everything is organized. You just do your job.
Just do your
just rehearse
job.
and sing.
Oh
And
my God.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have to read a contract and correct a contract for myself. It's like really crazy. And it's true. And I mean, what's really great, I think where the HKB is actually superior to a lot of Hochschulen is they have an agency at HKB. They have Kult.
Yeah, but that is more for instruments, I heard.
Yeah, it changed a bit. It always depends on who's working at Kult.
Okay.
And for me, it was like in my last year at HKB, I got a very feathery, cushioned exit from the HKB because a lot of contracts with Kult I got were actually after I stopped studying there. Because I signed the contracts while I was studying there.
Oh, cool.
But then I got a contract, a summer full of singing and working with Kult. And that really saved my ass at the beginning because I was teaching 4 lessons of music somewhere.
Oh, wow.
I had my students and had no income. I had no gigs planned, nothing.
True. Okay.
And then it started to, thanks to them.
Because of the Kult.
Yeah, and I really have to say, I'm plugging them now because I really think they do God's work. It's really crazy. Yeah. But especially the leader now, the boss now at Kult, it's really good. It's really good. She's doing a great job. And I'm really thankful for it.
Okay.
And she really changed this. There were so many more gigs for singers since she's doing that. So that was great too.
That's great. Great.
A lot of funeral gigs as well. It's
I never sing in a funeral. How is it?
Never?
Never.
I think it's difficult. Like, first I was afraid. The first funeral I said yes because I needed the money. It was like, it's really, but I was
That's
scared.
nothing to be ashamed.
No, but I was really scared shitless because, how will it be when they cry? And how will it be if I fuck up a funeral? And then,
how can you fuck up the funeral?
I mean, maybe lots of cracks on high notes and just badly singing and whatever. And then I did this funeral and I realized they are just grateful.
Yeah.
Mourning families are just grateful that someone is doing that for them.
Yeah.
And mostly with almost zero organization behind it because a funeral is really heavy to organize.
Yeah.
So now I kind of like funeral gigs because it's just the person who died wanted this songs. You can also choose a third one for yourself that you like to sing. And we're just grateful. And so now I really like singing at funerals. I hate singing at weddings. That's the other thing. That's the other thing. People at weddings, because they pay with their own money and a lot, they're the opposite. They are really opposite. They are like, everything needs to be exactly as I dreamed it was.
Yeah.
And so
wedding people are really crazy. They want everything.
I prefer to sing at funerals. Funerals are better than weddings to sing at. That's a good line. That's a good promotional line for the podcast. I prefer to sing at funerals. No, but there weren't that many in COVID-19 because at the beginning, exterior people were not allowed. So, I mean, I had a friend tell me, I think I can say that I had a friend tell me, I thought we would get rich because of all the funerals that I now can play, he told me. And I was like, I don't think that works
anymore. No,
because it wasn't allowed to have musicians.
Oh my God, that's
funerals.
a hell meme.
Yeah,
I thought I would get rich in Coronas, but not.
Yeah, nope, it did not. He's an organ player, so I get where he's coming from, but it wasn't a lot. I think for a long time, even the organ players weren't allowed at funerals. So
organ players have because funerals in church as well. Yeah.
Now it's I think now it's a bit doable more. Yeah, it's even more. Yeah, and I had not to sing a single COVID-19 funeral. Like I've never sang.
Now, there's.
I think I've sang 4 funerals this year.
Yeah,
and everyone died from old age.
From old age.
Yeah, not
corona.
Not corona related. So, which I was kind of happy for. I mean, they died old and peaceful in their sleep, and not because I think it will affect me as a singer more if I hear the person suffered every last second of their life. I would not like that at the funeral, because you still have to sing. Yes. You have to listen. Yes. Most of the time you sing after they talk about how the person died. Yes. So it's really crazy. I'm really happy that this did not happen.
Yes.
For myself.
Of course.
Yeah.
Whew. Wow. Hey, it's a great talk.
I like it.
Really great talk.
I hope you can use something.
No, everything I can use.
Yeah.
So what's coming next for you?
For me, it's that's an evil question right now.
For me, it's
things that are planned. I talked about this opera collective. It's Workshopera.
Yeah.
We're doing an opera production once a year without a director. Like
without a director,
I'm the leader of the collective.
You mean the stage director?
No stage director.
Okay.
Like I'm the leader of the collective. I give a concept. I give an idea for every scene, but then we do it as a workshop. Like really, everyone can say something, and then we do stuff that everyone can stand behind. It's like really, we do stuff that everyone says, yeah, that works, or I want to do that, and it's a bit to change structures and hierarchies in the opera business that are here. Sometimes I think some are here for a reason, some aren't. And we're playing a bit with that.
Wow, you are very left.
Yeah, I know.
I understand why people say that you're extremely left.
I don't feel like I am, but it's really crazy.
You are.
No, but I mean, I think you should. I will ask you, and you don't have to answer because you still want to have a career in opera. So I get it.
No, please.
I will ask you. Don't you sometimes think the directors and the bosses of the opera house have too much to say?
But usually the intendant have no words to say.
You think?
Well, in my experience of the opera,
that's good to know. I'd like to hear that. Yeah.
I understand what you mean. Yeah, intendant fighting with the not intendant, like intendant and the regi, they are confusing you because. I never have this in my life.
I've heard that as well. That the directors and the intendant really fought about stuff and everything, and the intendant sat in the final rehearsals and changed stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I never have this experience in my life.
Sometimes I think with Workshopera, our goal is not to say this is bad, by the way.
Yeah.
We're not saying that. We're just saying we're an alternative. Like we make the canon bigger. We make the possibilities of experience art of opera bigger. Like we have this very, you can say leftist. I think some people of the collective are not left, so they would hate to hear that. But we have this very open-minded, democracy-based way of deciding things from time to time.
Yeah.
And it shows in the end result. It's very modern. But not modern in a way of Regie-Theater. But it's very up to date. It's very pop culture heavy.
Yeah.
Very for young people, and that's the goal. We want to.
That's the goal.
We don't want to. We don't want to close the door for people who already come to opera. We also want that they enjoy the experience, and usually they do.
Yeah.
Except for the one woman who didn't want Pamina to die. But that we already talked about. Yeah. But also we want to open the door for young people.
Of course.
And that works. Like the free magic flute things we did, the 3 performances we did was full with young and old people. We really had everything. And that's crazy. And I'm really proud of that. So with Workshopera, we do a production in June of Il Matrimonio Secreto from Cimarosa. And we do it as a parody of a telenovela. Because the plot is really a telenovela plot.
Oh, wow.
And, no, it's really a telenovela plot. You have like the girl who marries secretly the employee of her father. You have the father who wants to marry both girls away to rich old men. You have the rich old man who has to marry this daughter, but he wants to marry this daughter.
Oh.
And you have the old aunt who's horny for the young man, but who's secretly already married with someone. It's it's a telenovela.
Yeah.
So we're doing like this, and we are actually kicking out almost all the recitativo this time. We always try to. And do it with a narrating, like in a telenovela. You have this, you have, in telenovela, you have the main character like doing this self-monologue. Like this inner monologue where she is like somewhere in the rain walking, being sad. And she talks 1 minute about being sad. We're doing the recitativo like this. We're doing a narration this time more. Some are still in, because a lot of comedy happens in an opera buffa and a recitativo. I'm not denying that, so we keep that, of course. But some have been... This also because of feedback from the audience, because they told us for our first 2 productions, they don't like the recitativo parts, especially the younger people, because they don't understand a word, what's happening. So it's not only because we're lazy and we don't want to work on the recitativo, it's also because there's an artistic reason.
I find out you are very good in this. Not good, but you are very careful.
Careful.
No, you are very what is the word? You are very... you are censoring not censoring. You are listening to the audience.
Yeah,
that's very important.
Because if you're from the free scene, if you're not from an opera house, you have to cater to an audience.
Yes, that's what the free scenes, what the small theaters doing more than the big opera house. That they listening to what audience says. Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
We have to because they are the ones who and of course the cities where we perform and everything, they give us the money to make this happen. Because if you do it in the free scene, I can talk about it. We have a budget of, I think, 60,000 francs this time. It's smaller than the one for in 2022. That we already have a bigger... We already have for the production. Yeah, this production will be in 2021. Okay. The telenovela. Yeah. And a year later, we already have to plan this now. Oh, already. We have already a way bigger budget for that one because we need more singers. Good. No, we don't have it yet, but we need to get a more bigger budget for that one. But I think if the telenovela will be a success, we have a bigger name and it works out. And then it'll be bigger. Yeah. And bigger. So that's one thing. The other thing we do is we're doing Wunderhorn again. Like, I do it with... we're still organizing it in April. In April, we do a version for 21. No, not like 22. We did. No, we do a version for. Actually, it's a very small version. It's piano. Yeah. And it's 2 brass and 2 wood instruments. It's okay. Yeah. 5 people. We do chamber, a quintetto version. Yeah. And it's with Julia, who also was on our production that we did together. Julia. She did. Which song did she do? I don't know which song she did anymore, but she's always very fun to have around and very good. Yeah. And we just do it together. Yeah. Because as you do Wunderhorn, most of the time you have a male and a female singer. It's not a song cycle. It's not a song cycle. That's the other, And we do that, and we're still trying to find good places. Because it's in April, we're a bit afraid because of the whole COVID situation. Have you tried to write to any the organizations of the Mahler? From where? Sorry? Geneva. No, we didn't yet. I think they can support something like that. Then we have to do a production there. Yeah, we'll Geneva? No. They say whole Swiss. Mahler really? Active whole Swiss. Oh, really? Because I remember Gratiera told me that. Yeah. Because I was doing the Concours de Mahler in Geneva. She told me that, Gratiera, last time when we do the Wunderhorn, they also wrote to the organizations. Yeah. So we have to. Thanks for telling me. I didn't know that. I should have asked Graziella. Yeah, you should have. I should have asked Graziella where the money came for this project. No, really. I mean, this must have been expensive. It's really. The recording in SFR. I think everyone talks shit about their alma mater, but about where they studied. But I think with HKB the projects are just great.
It's great. Project is really,
even while
I
a
appreciate
project
that
like
too.
Le Groupe Sauvage, even while a project is happening, of course, it's a bit disorganized because it's not an opera house. You don't have the hierarchy.
You don't have
the hierarchy we talked about, and I get that.
Yeah.
So sometimes while it's happening, we're a bit like, but the experience is like we worked with Joachim Schlömer. You and I. We can write that in our CV. We did a CD production with Graziella.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. That's really good. And I'm really thankful for that. So I should have asked Graziella.
We should have asked
where did the money come from? Because I need money too. Give me the money.
Everyone is money now.
Money.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that's happening next half year. And I have no clue what we do after it. Because I
has the clue now? You don't know. You don't know where can you run, where can you do it.
It's difficult. I think the Wunderhorn we will just record. If we cannot do the performances, we do like with a ghost audience, maybe with 2 or 3 people, and just record it. I think that's what we planned for now.
Yeah, probably that's.
And with Workshopera we do the same. If the telenovela still can't happen in June and July, then we just make a telenovela of it. Like we really film it, and then we really make episodes that we sell. That's plan B right now, because I'm not willing to postpone it for a 4th time.
Yeah,
and the rest of the cast is not as well. Like they were the same. They were like, we're not postponing it again. Like we do it now. And I hope it happens because we were organizing so much. We started rehearsals twice and had to go in lockdown with the rehearsals and stuff. It's really
and then is you're breaking too long, and then you have to do another rehearsal to come back.
We staged some of the big scenes with a lot of people we already staged, but then the tenor got COVID-19. That's what I told you before we did the podcast today. Like he got COVID-19, and we did everything with masks.
Okay.
We did everything without. We did everything with masks. We did everything with distance.
Yeah.
And no one got COVID from him. So the measures works apparently. The masks work apparently. It's crazy, because no one of us got sick.
But can you still do rehearsal? No.
Right now we don't.
You don't do rehearsal.
We have the next rehearsals we do in spring.
Oh my god.
Now we have half a year in between rehearsals, and that's because we had to postpone again.
But the musicians of the instruments are already prepared?
They haven't yet, because we did not do musical rehearsals with it's also with a chamber orchestra because money. But until now we have rehearsed with the conductor at the piano. Our conductor is a really great guy, and he actually does play the piano for the stage rehearsals because he wants to be involved. Like he wants to know what's happening on stage. And not a lot of conductors do that, I think, that they are here for the stage rehearsals and do the co-repetition for the whole production. That's crazy.
In my experience, quiet. A lot in the opera house.
Do they that? Yeah, I heard so that in Biel that happens as well, especially with
quiet
Franco.
A lot.
I heard with Franco.
Not just Franco. All the conductor comes
really
very
crazy.
often.
Really cool to
see the stage.
For
even they know they cannot do too much. Like they want to conduct and then see you.
For me, it was the second time now with our Workshopera.
Okay.
And it was once with Leonard by Le Groupe Sauvage.
Oh, okay.
He did. If he had to, he did it.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah,
it was, and I like that if the conductor is involved. I mean, that doesn't mean that he talks about the staging, but that he sees what's happening, because it's also important for him to know which scenes could be difficult to communicate.
Natürlich.
So I really enjoyed that Ricardo did that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Wow.
So that's happening in the next half year. But
next half years.
Yeah.
Coming.
And then the second half year, I have no clue what's happening. Maybe the Bohème. Officially, it's happening in this next year in December.
Which concert hall are we doing?
I don't know.
He say something a very big concert hall, the biggest one.
I've never been there.
I'm not sure.
I've never been there.
I'm not sure where in Zurich.
I think it's just from the Universität.
No.
It's not.
He told
really,
me it's going to be in the biggest concert hall in Zurich.
Oh wow! Maybe I should have listened when he told us.
You have to. But he said because of that. He said so the budget it's harder, so they can only have one performance. Yeah.
Only one performance.
No. Yeah, because of that, or one general, open general, and they say general and the performance.
Okay. Yeah, I will be very interested if this happens, because it's not my Fach. Like Marcello is like
Really?
A bit too high. I'm more Schonach.
Well,
La Bohème.
I mean, Rodolfo is not officially my fuck yet.
Yeah, yet.
Could
Yeah,
be.
that's the point.
It's
Yeah.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah, that was... because they asked us, they didn't have a Rodolfo. They always had one, then he cancelled, and
Okay.
it was a very big...
Is it that difficult to find a lyrical tenor in Switzerland?
With that heaviness, I think, because Rodolfo needs
Rodolfo.
some... I think he needs some more heaviness than a typical...
Yeah.
But then they asked us, and we offered them 3 names, and yours was one of them. And
Thank
then,
you.
Yeah. and
Thank you
then
for
apparently
recommending
it
me.
worked out. No, apparently it worked out. Yeah, and it was...
No, they never heard my... Oh, I sent them my videos, but I
Then
don't
they
think...
asked me if I've heard you, and I said he did a very dramatical, difficult song in Wunderhorn, and he did it well.
I'm now even more dramatic as I know. After that, I find out many things. Wunderhorn is a...
Yeah, Wunderhorn is really,
Reverga is crazy.
it's really crazy. It's the
Mahler
one.
is crazy.
It's the one I'm most excited for Wunderhorn now.
Yeah.
In April, but also the one I'm most scared of, because of
Scared
course I'm doing the low.
Are you going to do the
Yeah,
Reverga?
yeah. Usually the women don't do the Revelka. It's
No.
usually the male part in Wunderhorn.
Oh my god.
And it's really crazy. I mean, I do it lower.
The lower version.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
but it's still a lot of G's. So it's
No. It's
but
not that difficult. You
but
will
it's
make
so.
it.
I
You will
think
make
if it really has to happen in the moment, it maybe some pressure will sadly come into the technique.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that
it will
makes
come,
the
it
song
come.
work.
That
It
makes
works in this song.
yeah,
It
yeah,
shouldn't, and you
A little
shouldn't
bit
use
pressure
it
is also
on.
good, yeah.
You shouldn't use it on purpose. I think, but
Yeah.
I think in this song it won't destroy the lyrical abilities because it needs this power. Yeah, that's. But I started rehearsing it recently for myself, and I was like, it's fun. It's difficult, but it's fun. It's Wunderhorn is really fun. Yeah. But,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So that's what are you doing next half year?
Actually, I have nothing till April.
Yeah.
The Opera House Zurich, I got Capriccio for one small role.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Richard Strauss.
Yeah.
I'm the first
Really
Diener of the
Okay.
of the show.
It's a really crazy opera, I think. Yeah.
It's a really crazy one. It's like all the Richard Strauss.
Yeah.
Those like the first Jewish, the Jewish and in the Salome.
Oh yeah, in Salome.
Those
Oh
things. Diener is something like that too.
Yeah, I get that.
They don't like to put the name for those difficult roles. I
It's
don't
just
know why.
Diener.
Diener.
First
Diener.
It's
Yeah.
the same with the drei Damen from Magic.
Yeah, like a Treidamen. I
Erste
talked
Dame,
with
zweite Dame, dritte Dame.
2 weeks ago there was Reka Zabo here in the interview. I also told her that you see those German composers, they like to put those non-named character role with a very fucking difficult ensemble in the show.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I think the worst is then in Orff with the
Orff.
Mond, where
The
I
Mond.
think none of the men are named, but we are
No,
all.
but
all
it's
the
so
men.
difficult.
But all the men are the main characters.
Yeah.
It's like, but no one has a name. It's like für Erster Bursche or Erster Knabe.
You know, it doesn't seem very interesting in the CV. Like Diener,
Yeah, that's a
Jewish.
point.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what is that?
That's
Okay,
a
you
big
are just
problem.
something like acting trees.
Yeah.
No. No,
Yeah,
have you come to see the opera and you will know that that's so difficult.
Yes, exactly. It's really, that's really, it's really difficult to learn, I think. Like Leonard Doms, because we named him already today, he once told me that those Strauss thing, it's like very difficult to learn because of course you can see in the score, the oboe will play my note, but you will not hear it.
No,
There's no way you will hear it.
You won't hear it.
He was really right, but I started to practice for myself some Strauss things. I was like, no way, you just have to get it into your
often you have to ask the choreographer to do like 1 week before. Can we have a group 1 week before musical rehearsal together?
That's exactly.
I don't want to be like the first musical rehearsals days and then doing this with others. Can we have 1 week before already? Oh my god.
It will be like that. I mean,
it will be.
The scene from La Bohème we do, the third act, is the same. The final is very... I love to sing ensembles. I was with my voice teacher, Christian.
Yes.
He was very, very strong on learning.
You're also studied with Christian.
I studied with Christian,
my friend Chanting is also known.
Really? What's her name?
Chanting.
Of course. Yeah, she's now...
She's now in Singapore.
she's now
yeah.
at the moment. Yeah, we didn't study at the same time. I think,
I see,
or
I
maybe
see, I
only
see.
the last half year.
No. She just entered the
Yeah, no, I know.
HKB.
Yeah, and it was with Christian. Ensemble is everything. Like he's really like, if you sing later, of course it's good if you know all the arias from all the Mozart operas. But the really difficult thing to learn will be the ensemble, especially in
of
Mozart.
course. Yeah,
So I love to sing ensembles.
That's cool.
With La Bohème, it's really funny because I think the ensemble is the easiest part.
Yeah.
For me, it's very difficult to remember the lines. I was like, for me, that was the difficult thing while I started to practice
Where was
this.
you're talking about the
La
second
Bohème,
act?
the third,
No, the third act.
I think for me, the remembering the melodies is like, especially for the baritone.
Amacero
It's- yeah.
finalmente il musicente. Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
that's
love
the
to
third.
have your line
Yeah, yeah.
there because that's a melody.
Yeah,
You
that's a
can
melody.
recognize. but so I was struggling, and then the president from the orchestra, he was like, "Yeah, and we do it all by heart." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" It's a concert version. Of course, I'm going to have to score. No. We all do it by heart. We will act a bit. And I was like,
Oh, guys, come on.
but it will be funny. I really look
I'm
forward.
looking forward for that.
Because it will be my one time as Marcello before I go back to Schonard. And I will
Schonard,
enjoy- yeah.
okay, cool.
I mean, Schonard is my part in this opera.
That's of course.
But once Marcello in the act where it's interesting to be Marcello, so it's great.
I'm also Marcello.
yeah. It's where?
I'm also the Marcello too.
Oh,
Don't you remember we have the second version of the
of
La
course,
Bohème?
the La Bohème from
the
Leon Cavalli.
Leon Cavaliere.
Yeah,
Leon Cavaliere. Yeah. I'm going to sing the Marcello. there.
I was so happy that there's nothing for me in that part. I was like, oh no.
Then we got the same
Less
thing.
no, less work. I think you paid more than me.
Really?
As much as I know, I think the two side characters, Marcello and Musetta, we get less than you and Mimi.
How come?
I think I know it because I
because
talked
Mimi
with
also
the,
covered the. Okay.
Yeah, and also
Musetta.
because you have more to do in both acts. Also, like you have more to do in the third act.
Yeah.
It's
Actually,
like
that's
more
true,
difficult. You have more to do.
That's
so
true.
that's
true.
fine with me. You know, I see. If
I mean,
there has to be more
you
preparation,
got paid how much you paid.
That's the
You
point.
you got paid how much you
I
work.
and so I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
yeah. That's
So,
crazy.
Actually, that's what going to happen in my next.
Yeah.
Next, I only have Zurich.
Okay. Yeah, but that's
And maybe
normal,
2022 we are going to do Orfeo in Orfeo from the Offenbach in
the Offenbach version.
the
You're doing
Offenbach
Orfeo?
version. I'm doing Mercury, I guess.
Oh, Mercury. Yeah.
No, sorry. This is going to be off mic anyway.
Off mic. Anyway. You're doing.
Off mic 22.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, you cannot talk about it.
Yeah, I cannot talk about it because I don't have a contract yet.
You're not allowed to talk about it. No, I get that. No,
Yeah,
I mean, but I get that. I mean, I get that with. For me, the year is also empty. There have some things in the pipeline for 22 again, like you.
22.
But 21 will be like, I think, as bad as 2020.
No, you see, now in the pandemic, no one want to do the auditions, so they will just call everyone they know to do the.
Yeah.
To be there, like, are you free in this month? Yeah, we don't know if the pandemic continue, but can you be on our list?
Yeah.
If we doing the rehearsals, it's all like this now.
Yeah, I have. You did sing in Sweeney Todd, didn't you?
Yeah. Sweeney Todd.
I have maybe coming as well something like in a children's workshop.
Oh, really?
The children, it's for teenagers.
You are going to sing the Piorelli? Or?
No, the Sweeney, because it's only a
the
workshop.
Sweeney.
It's only, I
Oh.
think, as I heard, it's only going to be the ballad. But I'm also not the ballad that's always coming. I always wanted to sing Sweeney Todd.
That's so great. It's so
in Biel, you
beautiful.
did this mixed version with musical singers and opera singers.
Yes, actually, me, Pirelli, Joanna,
And Miss Lovett.
Miss Lovett it's opera singers,
But
and
the Sweeney
others,
was musical.
actually not. He's more a
An actor.
Schauspieler.
Oh wow,
He's
crazy.
more a Schauspieler, but it's not his first time to sing.
Yeah.
But it's great. So great. Oh my god.
And it's really difficult because it's
but
too
our
low.
our Toby is the really only the one who's the real musical singer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is so great.
I think it's almost Puccini, like the aria of Toby.
Toby.
Then nothing's gonna harm you. It's almost Puccini actually, with those long,
Oh my God.
very sweet lines.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. And the Joanna as well.
Joanna.
I steal you, Joanna. Yeah, that was your.
Yeah.
That was
my
your
Joanna.
Yeah, your Joanna. Yours.
I feel you, Joanna.
It's also
yeah.
Puccini.
That's a really.
It's also Puccini for me.
Yeah,
you
true,
have to
true,
sing it and
true.
play it like it's Puccini. I think it's really. It's crazy. I love Sondheim. He's my favorite
You have to
composer.
do. It's okay to do a bit classical technique in Sweeney Todd.
I think, and I think you, especially with Sweeney himself, you need some of this classical technique. I think.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Really
so
difficult.
good. It's really so good.
Now, yeah.
Hey, it's very nice to have you here.
I liked it. Thanks for the invitation. Really, it's
So let's finish here.
good. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Arion Rudari.
Yeah, it was really nice to be here. Thanks, Stage Folks, for having me, and maybe another time.
Non mi posso volere,